up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Ship Rider. I've forgotten how to speak when I'm doing these. Guys, it's a beautiful day. I thought I'd make a quick video, or quick second video today. I made just 1 minute ago. Finished a meeting and now heading back home. And I'm going to tell you a little story. So I was on the search, or out searching for a specific laptop. I wanted to get a second laptop that was a little bit more powerful than my regular business laptop for doing a little bit of everything. And I had a specific model in mind, and I had a specific spec in mind, and I didn't really want to buy a brand new one because the cost for a brand new one just wasn't really worth it. And but I wanted a certain spec so to last a bit longer than just buying a cheap used model that's a couple years old. So I wanted something from 2019 at a good price. Used was okay, but I was looking for like a leftover new model that they were trying to get rid of because the new model year is coming out with the new 10th gen processors. So I happened to find this listing on eBay, which, my past experiences with eBay isn't so bad. I've never had an issue until now, and I've been on eBay since what, year 2000. I've been on there 20 years and never had any problems with transactions I made. But anyway, so I found this laptop from this guy. I'm not going to put any details in the video because it's not really worth it. And I don't know, it just doesn't pertain. There's no reason to put the details in here because it's just not going to help anybody out, including myself. But simply put, found a laptop, and he had a set price for it, and I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. It was something like $2,100. Again, 2019 model. It was a Core i7 9th gen with the 2080 RTX Max Q design and 16 gig as a RAM, and I guess a 512 NVMe drive. So yeah, and it had a high refresh display monitor, so it met all my requirements, and it was a kind of a sleek design. It wasn't flashy like a gaming laptop. It was professional looking, and I could carry most anywhere and use it anywhere without too much attention. So okay, so the purchase went really well. I got all the information put in the order, and paid through PayPal, which I use my Japanese PayPal and my Japanese shipping address. No problem. I do it all the time. Works fine. That's attached to one of my Japanese credit cards, so there's like double layer protection there just in case something goes wrong. So the order went well. He shipped it within 2 days. Now the only, I guess it wasn't his problem, and I don't blame him for this, but the eBay has this global shipping program, and I don't know, it tends to work most of the time, but it's pretty slow. So I ordered a laptop the end of February, and then it arrived yesterday, the 17th. So it sat in their global processing warehouse for about a week before it moved again, and then eventually it was picked up by DHL and then sent on its way to Japan. So they took care of all the customs, paperwork, fees, and things like that. All that was paid. So the total cost in yen came out to be about 240,000 yen, which was what I expected. And the same model I found on the shelf used here in Japan was about 300,000. So I figured I'd save about 60,000 yen by getting the same exact model with the English keyboard on eBay. With all after shipping and customs, it still was cheaper than the one that was on the shelf in Japan, which should have kind of set off a red flag too. But I thought, okay, well, pictures look good, so we'll give it a shot. So paid, and he shipped it off within 2 days. He gave me the tracking number for the postal service, which was sending it to the Global Processing Center. Global Processing Center got it, and then it sat there for a week. They say if it doesn't move after 7 days, then you can make a complaint, but it moved on the 7th day. And then after it was picked up from the global process, it only took a couple of days for it to get in the air and across the sea into the Japan system. And I was able to track that all the way through mostly. Christ. Let me get some good around this guy. There we go. Anyway, so it came. You know, I was kind of excited. It was finally here. Yay. After all the money I spent, it's finally showing up in my hands. Because I was just worried that, you know, still in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, what if this is a scam? You know, what if he just sends me an empty box? Yada, yada, yada. But it came. The guy handed it to me at my door. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's heavy enough. So it must be a laptop in there. That's a good sign. So I get it in the door, start unpacking. It was actually pretty well packed. It was double boxed. And it had the original packaging for the laptop when it was bought originally. It was quite the first few, like opening the first layer and getting through the bubble wrap into the next box. You know, that was kind of a red flag when I saw the box was pretty, you know, abused. Looked like it was kind of an older box. I'm like, okay, well, it's just a box. Let's open it up, and then open up the box, and my very first sign was, oh, this isn't right, because the laptop in the box was much bigger than the one I ordered, and it was an older design. I recognized the logo and design on the top. It had a specific shape to it, and I'm like, oh, hell no. So I pulled the rest of it out, and sure enough, the model that he sent was a 2018. It had the manufacturing date on the laptop itself said it was made in April 2018, and it was like I said, it was a 17-inch model with a full keyboard, and it wasn't the model that I wanted, which had the regular like laptop keyboard and a 15-inch display, because I want portability. I don't need the bigger screen and bigger keyboard. That doesn't really help me. I just need portability and power. So yeah, so basically I got scammed, sort of. I was really disappointed because I was really expecting to get the machine I paid for. I don't know. It's just kind of like a sinking feeling when you open the package and it's not what you ordered. You know, it's not like, I mean, I don't know how you can get that wrong. I mean, that's why I think it was just a flat-out scam. It's just like he just got the money and this box went up whatever laptop he had laying around and sent it onward to me. And I guess maybe he thought maybe I would just accept it and move on, but no, not for that kind of money. And it's also not even the model or the type that I wanted. I mean, it was. I mean, I pulled it out. The laptop worked. It wasn't like it was broken. It was heavily damaged though, like not broken like tossed around broken, but like just heavily used. The keys had rubbed off. There were scratches on the outside, and the bottom had been opened up. This factory seal was taken off. It was nowhere near new, and it definitely had been, you know, modified during its life, and that's not what I wanted. So I took some pictures. I actually took pictures. I actually was smart and took pictures as I unboxed it, so I have all the documentation and evidence to show what came out of the box when I got it. So I took a deep breath, walked outside, took a walk for a bit, and just decided the next course of action. So of course, the next course of action is obvious. Let's file a claim because this is BS. So went and filed a claim with eBay, and then filed a claim with PayPal as well, because I'm pissed and I just want to get this out and resolved as quickly as possible. Of course, PayPal says talk to eBay, but I still opened a claim with them for the time being. And I hit the return button on the product that I ordered on eBay, and that started that process, and wrote my complaint detail, attached the pictures like, hey, you know, it's very specific. This is the model and serial number you sent me. This isn't what was promised. Not even the right model. It's right make, but not model. I mean, just like, shit. Lots of problems. Yeah, so I did that last night, and then this morning I woke up to a message from the seller on eBay. I don't remember what I was just wasn't paying attention, and I don't remember what he said, but I replied to him and I said, you know, very professional, very polite, and just calmly explained and say, hey, you didn't send what you promised, so I want to return this and get a refund, and I don't need an exchange or anything like that. I just want to send this back, get my money back, and move on. End of story. And basically, he didn't argue with me about it. He just asked for picture. Well, not he didn't ask for picture. I sent him pictures of the serial number and model number on the box and on the machine, and then I that's what he requested, was the serial number and model number. So I sent that to him, and then and I said, yeah, I'm looking for, you know, I'm getting ready to pack it up and get it shipped back out to you, which is what I'm doing. It's a little more complicated to. I mean, I've never sent a laptop overseas, so I had to find out the right procedure to deal with the battery issue and you know, the correct labeling and custom paperwork and things like that. So I'm in the process of doing that, and I hope to get it out tomorrow and get that back to him. But you must be thinking that's the end of the story. Well, no, it's not. It gets better. So after we talked a few times back and forth in messages, pretty cordial, no, you know, it was pretty, I mean, all professional, no immaturity. But then one of his next messages to me after that was, so somebody else bought this laptop, so I was wondering if you could just ship it directly to him. And he gave me and he gave me the other buyer's name and address. And he said, yeah, if you could just ship it directly from Japan to this guy in the States, it would be really helpful. I said, are you kidding me? I mean, I didn't say that to him, but I'm thinking about, are you kidding me? And I told him very professionally, very politely, I said, look, I appreciate your point. However, I don't really want to accept responsibility for the shipping to another customer, nor that I want to accept the customs requirements to send it to another person. So, because that puts my name on the package and not yours. So I said, I'm going to politely decline to send the package to this person, but I'm going to send it back to you at the address you provided, and we'll do it from there. And then his next reply was just, okay, thanks. So that's where we are. That was the last reply. The return has started. I just need to box the thing back up and prepackage it very well. Get the stickers I need, put the labels on it, and take it over to the shipping center and get it out the door. It's going to cost me I don't know, it's going to cost me at least 10,000, 15,000 yen to send it. But that's, you know, as long as I get my bulk of my money back, I'm fine. I told the guy, I don't care about covering shipping. I said, I just want to get it out of here. So I said, I'll cover the shipping, just refund the money after, you know, just refund my money back to me. You know, once this is completed, and we're good. End of story. So I'm hoping that he'll just go easy with this and receive the package and process the refund. You know, fortunately he gave me the same address that it was shipped from, so I think that's a good safe bet. Yeah, it's just really annoying to have to go through this whole process. This is just extra few days of work after waiting a couple of weeks to get the original one that I want, or get the one I wanted. But I don't know, just really annoying. So to console myself, I went out and the same model they had on the shelf at the used store here in Akiba. That one was listed for 271 plus tax, so it was like right at 300,000 yen out the door. So I just went and bought that one. I said, screw it, I'll deal with the Japanese keyboard. I'm just going to upgrade the parts to what I want. It had the original spec machine I wanted was i7 9th gen 2080 TX or 2080 RTX Max Q with 32 gigabytes of RAM and the 512 MB RAM SSD thingy drive, whatever. But the machine that was on the shelf in Akihabara was 300,000 yen, but it only had 16 gigabytes of RAM The drive is fine, it's 512, same one as the one that I wanted to get from eBay. It's just the one spec down as far as memory is concerned, and it had Windows Home on it. So I'm going to replace the Windows OS, add more memory, and probably put this, and since I'm going to have the machine open, I'm going to go ahead and put in a new or a second NVMe drive in the second slot they have inside the machine. Anyway, so I have the machine I want. Now I just need to get the specs or get the pieces upgraded to what I want as far as OS and memory is concerned, and then I'll have the machine that I wanted to begin with. I just kind of wanted an English keyboard, but that's not really a big deal. So the Japanese keyboard is fine. I'll deal with it. So the moral of the story is, I guess you just got to be careful who you can and can't trust. This particular guy, he had a lot of good feedback on his profile. He had something like 3,000 positives and 12 negatives within the last 12 months. But you know, had I actually looked at the positive feedback that he did get, it was mostly for him being a buyer instead of a seller. So I mean, there were some good sales reports on there, but there were also a bunch of negative on there about the products he was shipping out. You know, he like advertising is new, but it was actually a very heavily used machine, things like that. So yeah, I mean, I should have been more careful. If I had actually, I mean, I did pay attention to the feedback. I just didn't read it in that much detail. And if I had read it in detail, I probably would have not gone through with the purchase and saved myself a lot of heartache or headache. So you live and you learn, I guess. I'm just hoping I get that 2,000 back. So I don't know, it was something like 2,000. I think total cost was like 2,239. That included the customs fee, the shipping fee, and the actual machine itself. And you know, like I said, I spent 300,000 yen for the one I wanted. So I'm kind of out almost 600,000 yen in total until I get that other money back. Sucks, man. I hate spending money on something and not getting what I expected to get. And I guess I should consider myself fortunate, considering that I've used a lot of online services for buying stuff. Now I do most of my purchasing through Amazon or a specific Japanese website. I only buy things from eBay when there's specific things I'm looking for that I can't find elsewhere. You'd be surprised at some of the small parts that you can find. I mean, I'm sure you know if you've looked for things. I mean, but I have bought some really odds and ends things that you can't get new anywhere else, but you can find them at these places that break the parts, break things down to the parts and sell parts and pieces. So that's really helpful when you look for something that's kind of hard to find. So there's still benefits to using places like eBay, but I wish they had an escrow service like Mercari does in Japan, because that service, the seller doesn't get their money until the receiver confirms they got what they paid for. But eBay doesn't do that. At least I don't think they. I mean, they might have it for larger ticket items, but not for like $2,000. That's just kind of small change when you look in the big picture. Alright, well, I guess that's the end of this story for today. Maybe I'll make an update video about this later once I get the situation resolved, or not resolved. But I'm thinking that with the protections in place, I should be able to get my money back without any issues. I just simply need to go take care of the shipping stuff tomorrow. I found out, like, you know, I had to do some research on the requirements to ship this thing back out of Japan with the lithium battery situation. So that's not, I'm not gonna talk about that right now, but it's doable. It's just gotta have certain pieces of paperwork done to document everything. Alright guys, well, I guess that's it. Thanks for tuning in for the second video today. Hope you guys are doing well in the world, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for being there. Be safe out there. Bye bye.